Well, the Trump administration is changing the way U.S. humanitarian funds go to provide relief on the ground for the thousands of Christians who are being killed and persecuted in other foreign countries. One America's Emerald Robinson has this report.
The Trump administration is making good on another campaign promise, pledging to help persecuted Christians abroad. Vice President Pence announced that the administration will no longer fund ineffective programs run by the UN, instead sending money to groups directly through the U.S. Agency for International Development. This is welcome news to informal Trump advisor and pastor Johnny Moore.
We've lost 80% of Christians in Iraq, 50% of Christians in Syria. We've lost 99% of Christians in Turkey in a generation and a half.
The Center for the Study of Global Christianity estimates that 900,000 Christians were martyred between the years 2005 to 2015, or 90,000 Christians on average each year. Moore, whose new book, The Martyr's Oath, describes modern-day persecution of Christians, says that ISIS has inspired an escalation in the killings of Christians.
But what ISIS has done is they have inspired thousands of more terrorists to do the same. And so while ISIS is being eliminated in Iraq and Syria, ISIS-type persecution against Christians is expanding in places like Nigeria, in Somalia, and Libya, and in Egypt. You know, just a few days ago in Egypt, we had a priest in broad daylight knifed to death in the streets.
However, the biggest threat to Christians, according to Moore, is not ISIS, but authoritarian dictatorships.
North Korea has 70,000 Christians in prison.
According to a list generated by Open Doors USA, North Korea ranks at the top for extreme persecution of Christians, but the Middle East accounts for the majority of the countries. However, Moore is hopeful that new measures by the Trump administration will change these figures.
What I've seen, day in and day out, working with the White House in various ways, working on policies to help ensure that American humanitarian assistance actually goes to rebuilding these communities in Iraq and Syria. It's a world of difference.
Moore says this is a big departure from the policy of the previous administration.
In the height of the crisis, despite the fact that Christians and Yazidis and other religious minorities were the ones being chiefly targeted by ISIS, they were the groups being most discriminated against in our own resettlement policies. President Obama, his administration, wouldn't grant a visa to an Iraqi nun who was petitioned by Congress to come testify about the atrocities that she had witnessed because she was Christian.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill have also been holding hearings about the need for the administration to act quickly and get funds to faith-based entities where they are needed. Vice President Pence will be traveling to the Middle East in December, where he will visit Israel and Egypt. Reporting from Washington, Emerald Robinson, One America News.